6,000 people lost their lives, or students rather lost their lives, because tikola tiba targeted most of the time. Kanzaguti, they want to make the school basically a military camp. They want to, abduct children. We've reported on a lot of cases from Nigeria, and of course just war-stricken countries rather. So basically that's what we're talking about. So this day basically was established to say that education should be safe, right? Education should be safe from terrorist attack. Children should be safe, and they shouldn't have to risk their lives to get education. That's what the day advocates for, and we are just saying that we're so fortunate in Eswatini to not have experienced any of that. But because we haven't experienced any of that doesn't mean that we shouldn't raise awareness, because imagine you're a parent and your child goes to school only for them not to come back from school, right? Which is such an unfortunate thing. All right, so today on the show, Nokfila is here and she's going to tell us about Sudoku Day. Is it so?
Sudoku.
Sudoku.
Yeah. How are you doing
I'm
today?
great. I don't know what's going on, but
out of the blue.
Out of the blue. But anyway, I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. Like summer officially, yeah, lo that's spring, lo that's spring summer season, but the weather is so beautiful, right? And just a breeze of that summer wind, but I mean, I just I'm cruising nicely,
same.
Into this beautiful season, so I'm looking forward to so much. Eclipse a lot of people have been talking about that. There's so many superstitions September ufana nokuthi sisuke singena eminyakeni lomusha into lefana naleti diyendeka lokhu kusho kuthini kusho renewal kusho ukuthi lokuzala sekwendlulile sesingene in a new page, a new leaf, singumhlaba wonke. Yebo kona one way or the other sitkhanza January kunguye new year, the 1st of January, but yeah kahle kahle umlandvo netikhathi tisibeka ku position lapho khona singasho sithi September, the 1st of September sisuke singena eminyakeni lomusha siqala umnyaka lomusha. So kumnandi kakhulu ke nawutalwa nga September bese kuthiwa September is a brand new year, kusho ukuthi we are new year babies.
Yes,
right? So yeah, I'm looking forward to so much, yeah, and there's so much coming up, Jay, and this beautiful spring summer season, so many events coming up. I'm looking forward to all of them.
Same.
October is insane.
Same.
October looks crazy, right?
Yeah.
There's so many events coming up in the country. Lungisa kiki la kubegele nangabe uthanza tikhipha uthanza bomnanzi uphume bangani bakho, family and friends, even your closest people, like maybe your mother, your grandfather. Take them out to an event nawo bayowuva ukuthi kuba mnanzi kanjani kuphuma uminglishena labanye bantu. So yeah, so much that happened over the past weekend, even Lagangwani trade fair nkulu umhlanga ungaka, there was so much to celebrate kuye weekend enkulu lesiphuma kuyo. But now it's a brand new week, sisenyangeni ya September, siyaqhubeka sihlelo iGolden Hour asiphinzi inhlelo si live, sila embabane. And of course today it's what is called International Sudoku Day, right? You've seen this game, you've seen this puzzle. Sikhuleke usinavula, the newspaper. I don't read the newspaper as much, anyway, because the social media, there's the online, articles, so le game lena jalo nga like entertainment, pages, wonge kuhlale ungayikhanzi a game of Sudoku, so a game lena that was launched by the Puzzle Federation, World Puzzle Federation, nakhona le yalonchwa ngomnyaka wa 2013, but this game has been existent for so many years. Yakhona ukusita le game le to just challenge your brain, uhlale lapho ubathi uyatibuka inombolo phambanise column to row, bathi ke ufuna ngaphinzani kuwona leyo row noma column 1 to 9, kuya phasi naseceleni, so there's so many rules of the game of Sudoku. I tried playing this game, but it has so many levels. There's the easy level, there's the mid, and there's the very hard or tough, level level yayo le game. But yeah, if you've played it, you know, I'm sure ukuthi yeah, ingqondo yakho ikhaliphile. And if you still do, iyakusita kakhulu ikhalphisa ingqondo yakho. So that's what we're looking at today. And we're basically challenging you to play some of the games that are available, ngabak articles, you know, newspapers, online. There's so many games that takusita ukuthi ingqondo yakho ikhaliphe. So we do have our nurse today. Khona Sindiso Bembe namuhla siyathi ukuthi inyanga September United Nations uyibuke yaba inyanga lapho khona sithi let's raise awareness ngendzaba suicide. Sibonile nje itolo sihloko lesibhlungu lesikhulu umvana lo senyuvesi lothethe impilo yakhe, unfortunately, which is not the first time kwenteka. Why does this happen? Why does it happen mostly with young people, you know, ikakhulu evenda kangwane mhlambe ngibo labende ama headlines yini asati, but we do have her today on the show. Atosi chazela nje ukuthi sesikuphi. Last year we had a conversation with a group of young people from across the country, but how far have we come, or how far have we gone as a country and young people evenda kangwane to try and tackle this particular issue? So Sindiso is in studio already. Let's take a short break. We'll be back with her.
Eswatini TV has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Eswatini Communications Commission. We are committed to reporting news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that does not amount to hate speech or the description of gratuitous violence or explicit sex. For any complaints of our programming, please contact us on 2411-9600 or email info@eswatinitv.co.za. You can also contact the Eswatini Communications Commission on 2406-7000 or write a letter to ECCOM on PO Box 7811 Mbabane. Email address is info@ecom.org.sz.
This is my first time here.
Hopefully it's my last.
My dear friends, here we are, all in our true.
I'm head prefect. Each and every student will have a voice.
Need to show that new squeak.
I hate this school! I know.
It's risky, but I've done it several times.
Guys, bafana bebola barong.
Agiwa kakhona.
Machari akona basafaka snake okhobe babele.
So my friends can go to hell.
To this day, I've never seen that man.
You don't know him like I do. I know it's petty.
I don't know what it is, but I can jump.
Well, okay, yes, I've seen handcuffs where they were not supposed to be.
Welcome back to the show. It's the golden hour, hashtag Umnanzaka. It's good to be home. So we have a mental health nurse. Her name is Sindiso Bembe. She's no stranger to the show. And today we're going to be talking in particular about suicide, right? Suicide prevention, that is, because we've noted that there's a lot of statistics, especially with young people, people that are seeking employment. And of course, we know that there's a lot that has been happening in the country. There's so many things that could lead someone into thinking, okay, my life is not worth living. So today we're here to talk about it and to raise awareness about it. And she's the rightful person to talk to because all of that centers around mental health, right?
How are you?
I'm good. Okay, I'm not good, but I'll be fine.
Don't get in with those. I'm
vitamin C, something.
Vitamin C.
I'll get it after. Thank you. So we're talking suicide prevention. Can we talk about maybe be some of the risk factors of, you know, a person having suicidal thoughts?
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, so this month we are talking suicide.
Yes.
And we're talking suicide prevention, as you
Yes.
rightfully said. So I think this is the right month, of course, to talk about such and to have a conversation, especially because our theme this year
Yes.
is start the conversation.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yes.
and change the narrative. Let's talk about it. So with that said, then, Emma risks, you know, of people that would have maybe more suicidal thoughts or even thinking of ending their lives. People that are overwhelmed, you know,
Yeah.
in terms of maybe you have a chronic illness.
Yes.
You have this illness that just, you know, you see there's no quick remedy for it, and they're telling you "Dawuphila nago," and then a
Yes.
person will feel like "Ngisaphilelani," yet maybe there is help that you
Yeah.
can get, you know. Also unemployment rates, you know,
Yes.
financial issues and all of that. And also what we're seeing is trauma. When people are experience trauma, be it physical trauma, niyashayana, bayakshaya, or
Yes.
emotional trauma, bayakthethisa, you know, people are shouting at you using very harsh words. We're also seeing sexual trauma, you know, like your rapes and whatnot.
Yes.
You find that people maybe will not be able to cope, and then they find themselves having these overwhelming feelings
Yes.
of wanting to escape this situation that they're at.
Okay, well said. And when we're talking about just, you know, the warning signs, what is it that we need to look out for? Is it change in behavior? Because sometimes we know that people deal with things differently. They're always in their room. So what are the warning signs that, you know, families should be able to look out for, parents should be able to look out for? Because most of the statistics are
Most definitely. Warning signs are there. However, we don't necessarily see them as warning signs.
Okay.
That's why it's important to start the conversation and talk about it so that we're aware, because part of it will be a change of behavior, as you're saying.
Yes.
You'll find that a person maybe is now isolating themselves, as in removing themselves from a group of people, maybe family, and watch whatever that they were watching with the family or with friends. They're removing themselves from friends. And as you're mentioning, young people, also, we must take note of their marks, right, in school.
Okay.
If they are dropping, they're no longer performing well at school, that's something that you should look out for and find out what is really going on. There are other people that will also talk about it. Maybe they'll be asking questions like, you know, people are dying through suicide, you know, what is this thing, or what are they using, you know, to end their lives? And because it's sort of like a conversation, we would go in, you know, and go, there's this, and the other. No, this one is stronger than the other, you know. This person is sort of like researching.
Yeah,
right?
true.
They're researching. Or you'll hear them having words or saying words like, in our language,
yes,
you know,
true.
baphumlile, right? So you hear them talking of such, or they'll be like, if I can just end it all.
Yes.
If I can just end it all. So their talk will center around, if I could disappear, if I could end it all, or people that have passed on are better off than what I am going through or than what we are going through.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. Because what we need to understand is that a person that is suicidal or that is thinking of ending their lives, they don't really want to die per se.
Yes.
They want to remove themselves from the situation that is so overwhelming, and they feel like they no longer have resources to handle whatever is going on. So that is why they say, if I could end it all, not end my life, but end it all. If I could just disappear from whatever is happening. So that would be some warning signs that would be there.
Okay. And before we talk to how, you know, some of the risk factors vary between like young people and old people or adults, I just want to talk about, so far, what are the strides that you have seen in Eswatini? To be specific, some of the techniques or some of the things that young people use or any other person uses to end their lives, because letinye are no longer being sold. So what would you say as, someone who works in health, you've seen being done to make sure that and obviously like eliminate at the end of the day, that is the end goal. So what are some of those things that you've seen that you feel like we are in the right direction?
Okay, with that one, I think we are around baby steps.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Because when you're talking about reducing letinombolo,
Yes.
not in our country, unfortunately.
Okay.
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 That is why the Minister of Health has taken this initiative to stand up and do something.
Okay.
And take action.
Yes.
Because we are seeing the numbers are increasing. However, our effort, therefore, and our objective is to decrease those numbers by at least 30% by 2030.
Okay.
So we've really, that's one thing that we have taken upon ourselves and around all these numbers that are rising.
Okay.
And because mental health, particularly suicide, is not only a Minister of Health issue.
Yes.
True. Everyone is involved. Ministry of Health, Ministry of Agriculture,
Yes.
Finance, Dinkundla, everybody's involved, because for health, it would be, this is what I'm going through. And then say, for instance, there's maybe disharmony in the homestead, then we will ask both DPMO,
Yes.
to please step in, more social worker to please step in. When they're stepping in, they'll find more problems, they will
Yes.
also ask from another ministry, please step in,
Yes.
and all of that. So the stride maybe that you are talking about from health would be that we have started to make noise.
Okay.
We have started to start the conversation. I highly appreciate Ministry of Agriculture and Gender. They had talks, around suicide, pesticides and all that, which is really great for us, because again, it means everybody is seeing the problem and they want to see and establish how they can help to reduce the numbers. So what I'm saying is, when we all come together and work together to reduce these numbers, then every ministry, including Ministry of Health, will see the numbers going down.
Well said. Like, I think, I don't know if like it's a subjection to a certain extent, but I never really thought about the fact that every ministry is very much, accountable to the things that happen. Because if it's not even agriculture, then we're looking at education, and they feel like they have, everything to lose. So it's every other ministry being needed to make noise about this.
You also come in
Yes,
in reducing
right.
the numbers,
Yes.
because the media, we need you to do responsible reporting.
Yes.
And if you do the responsible reporting by not mentioning what methods were used, by not mentioning maybe the age, where were they, what
Yes.
the story behind was. Instead, you then send the positive message to say you are not alone, you can access help and whatnot. You reach more people than us,
Yes,
right? So you
right.
can also contribute in reducing the numbers.
Definitely.
And it's a win-win for everybody.
Definitely, I agree with you. And let's look at some of, the risk factors, how they vary between like your young person to an elderly person. What would you say are some of the common risk factors that you've seen?
Okay, so when it comes to risk factors, like we have said, it cuts across. If finances may cut across. If you're an adult, you're trying to provide for your family and it's not coming together, you will be overwhelmed.
Okay.
If you're a child and you need your school fees to be paid, you need your bag, school bags,
Yes.
school books, uniform, and if it's not coming together, definitely you will also be with children or young people, the pressure as well at school. There's the pressure of peer pressure, bullying,
Yes.
school that comes with it, and then also just the learning
Yes.
itself. Then it becomes overwhelming, and you might find that they resort to I'm just overwhelmed, and
Yeah.
this is where I'm going to go through. Another thing that we are seeing is that young people are spontaneous. So
Okay.
we will see a spontaneous suicide
Yeah.
lab, meaning something will happen to them than sitting and thinking and, just going through the motions
True.
of what they went through. If I'm blutikile, it means akasangifuni and whatnot, and then quickly they take a decision, you
Yeah.
know. So they're spontaneous based on the life stresses that they are going through.
Yes.
Instead of working through them, it's easy for them to take that wrong decision, to
Yes.
take their lives.
Okay.
Right. So, and then with adults, again, what we're seeing is that if they become so overwhelmed, some may resort to taking their children's lives first,
Yes,
then they take
before.
their own.
Yes.
So for them, the risk would be thinking ahead. If I leave this place, and this is, I'm overwhelmed now, what will happen to my children, right? So it's a vast, for them, it's more the future.
Yes.
For young children or adolescents, it's here and now.
Yes.
This is happening to me here and now, and this
Yeah.
is the decision that I'm going to take.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay. So before I let you go, maybe just to talk about a self-care plan. We could be speaking to someone who already has suicidal thoughts every now and again. What self-care plan could they come up with if they are feeling overly overwhelmed and they have suicidal thoughts? Yeah.
Thank you very much for that question, because that is where we all then come together, like you're saying,
Yeah.
the positive message. We need to have that conversation,
Yeah.
start the conversation. If you're feeling overwhelmed, find somebody that you trust,
Okay.
and you talk to them. And then again, on top of that, when I come to talk to you, be comfortable with talking about suicide. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
And asking me if you're seeing the symptoms that we talked about, right? I'm removing myself.
Yes.
My behavior has changed. I'm no longer eating. I'm no longer happy.
Yes.
I'm always feeling sad. Ask.
Yes.
It's okay to ask. When you're asking about suicide, like, you can phrase it like, may I put it in Eswatini? You
Yes.
can phrase it like, lo kuvago kuyenteka yini ukuthi utivunga zothi ngathi ungatikhweshisi
Yes.
noma ube nemicabango yokuthi ibulala, uyakubona?
Yes.
So it's okay to start that conversation and talk about that, because it will not provoke. Instead, it's giving the person a safe space to
Yeah.
say, somebody understands what I'm feeling.
Yes.
Somebody understands what I'm thinking. Then they will be able to talk to you. So that person can find somebody that they trust,
Okay.
and they talk to them. Also, if they are feeling too overwhelmed and they don't have somebody that they trust, they can go for professional help.
Okay.
And go there and seek help. But more than anything, because suicidal thoughts are based on what they are going through, they should try and find what exactly is bothering them,
Yes.
so that they talk about what is bothering them and find solutions around what is bothering them. Automatically, the suicidal thoughts are going to go down.
Okay. Thank you so much for being with us on the show today. I really appreciate it.
You
We are
are
full
most
of wisdom. Every day it's a learning curve. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our mental health nurse, Cindy Sobembe, talking to us on issues of suicide. So September is Suicide Prevention Month, right? We are saying that start the conversation and change the narrative. And of course, if you happen to have suicidal thoughts, or you feel like you can't handle it anymore, or you're feeling overwhelmed, just know that you need to find someone to talk to and talk about everything that is bothering you. We're saying that you matter, and it doesn't have to get to that extent. With that being said, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
I know.
It's risky, but I've done it several times.
Guys, bafana bebhola barong.
Akiwa kakhomza.
Machari akhona basafaka snake okhobe wabele.
But my friends can go to hell.
To this day, I've never seen that man.
You don't know him like I do. I know it's petty.
I don't know what it is, but I can jump.
Well, okay, yes, I've seen handcuffs where they were not supposed to be.
Imagine being part of a journey that uncovers the beauty of untold stories. Get ready to be part of something epic. You don't want to be left out, and you definitely don't want to miss out. Join the journey of uncovering untold stories through art, words, and hands. O-U-T out. Well, that's poetry. Poetry. Don't blink or you'll miss it. Every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Screen's own Eyes Glued.
Welcome back. We're still on the show at Golden Hour. Hashtag Umnanza Kaya. It is good to be home. It's a Health Tuesday. Sibonga kakhulu baka WHO Eswatini, that's World Health Organization Eswatini. Gusta namuhla enyangeni ya September iqala nje bathatha isikhathi sabo betehlene Golden Hour batosifundisa batositshela about the latest, at WHO Eswatini. And of course, i-emphasis kakhulu ekutheni inyanga ya September inyanga ye Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. So lapho khona sithi asatisane sifundisane kabanti ngendaba ye-suicide uchazile ke ukuthi nathi si-media nathi sidlala iqhaza elikhulu ekutheni sifundise sihambise umlayeto nendlela lesihambisa ngakhona kumlayeto usithi we need to have the right choice of words. Addiction sisa articulate leyo message kubo babukeli bethu bancane youth badzala sa educate ngayo i-suicide. So sethemba ukuthi nabo bataqhubeka basebenzele kahle nge-WHO Eswatini Ministry of Health nakhona banemkhankaso lomuhle nemsebenzi kusasa labatawulontsha officially kwatisa sive sakangwane ukuthi it's Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Naku kumele sikubuke umsebenzi lona utabe uheadline wake noma ngilathini guest speaker wawo lo msebenzi nguMinister of Health. So make sure that you look out for all of that on the different media platforms. And of course, namuhla we get inside the kitchen and see what we have, whipped up for you. We have 5 healthy smoothies to share with you today on the Golden Hour. Check this out.
Well, those are some of our healthy smoothies. They look delicious, guys. Some of the ingredients are just like, okay, carrots, where do they fit in? But they look yum. So you can try out those recipes, especially if you have a blender. I think personally, peer pressure air fryer. There's so much that's going on when it comes to air fryers. But it's very important to invest in the things that you know for a fact you'll need in the house. If you're a person that likes smoothies, then you need to invest in a blender. But those are some of our healthy smoothies.
Yeah, I like them. Make sure that you try them out, even though some of them are very confusing. Mix of vegetables and fruits. Oh no.
Yeah.
There's orange juice there, you know. So yeah, try them. But they look delicious. You know, it's something you could try, you know, in a hot summer. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Kude lesinye isikhathi ngaphandle kwalesi
aba-researche bafunze.
Being risky means ukuthi nalokuwa kwayo kulula.
Nathi kufuna senze ukukhiqiza lokusemndeni.
It's time for our entertainment report, and the first person we want to talk about or look at is Lasizwe. So he is a television personality and content creator. So he has spoken out against the South African Revenue Services, known as SARS, decision to tax influencers. According to Sunday World, Dambuza has argued that the move is unfair to many creators who are already struggling to earn a steady income. He added that while many people may assume influencers live a glamorous lifestyle, the reality often is far from that. He says being an influencer is not as glamorous as people think. It's actually very tough to navigate this world, and even harder to reach a point where you can confidently invoice and charge for your work. So he further commented that every single day influencers are negotiated down, and it's ironic because when you walk into a store like, you know, your convenience stores to buy bread, you're never asked to negotiate the price. Yet in their industry, their value is constantly questioned, he explained. So the Awkward Dates host also pointed out the high cost influencers face when attending events or producing content. His criticism follows SARS's recent statement, making it clear to influencers that they will have to be basically taxed, right? So I think right about now, it's so controversial because there's influencers that have been thrown under the bus because of, you know, some Russian institution that they decided to market or put out there, only to find that it was a scam. So I think that's following that scandal, and to say that they were not responsible enough. So maybe this is basically one way in which they can be reprimanded for their action.
Golden Awati has been nominated as one of those young people that have been nominated for an Excellence Award, right?
Yes.
A Raymond Academy Excellence Award. So Spiro Shaba has been honored with the inaugural Raymond Ackerman Academy Alumni Excellence Award for Leadership Excellence in Joburg. So the award was presented first week of September. But, you know, he got that award at the University of Johannesburg, where Lushaba walked away with 50,000 rands and recognition of his outstanding leadership and community work. Lushaba, who is the founder and chief executive officer of Taxi Wellness and 24 Digital, also serves as director of the Startup Grind Manzini chapter and chairs the RLCSA Eswatini alumni chapter. He said the accolade was not only his personal achievement, but also a recognition of the young change makers in our country. So your prayers, he says, have surely reached God's ears, and God has answered. I received the award not as an individual, but also as a representative of the youth pushing for change in Eswatini. So the award is named after the late South African retail pioneer Raymond Ackerman. Checkers, Pick and Pay, and celebrates alumni who have made significant strides in leadership and social impact in Africa. So yeah, Nasoga Story Spio made it. He's a prayerful young man, fiery, feisty, fired up, ambitious, you know. So yeah, he was sure in his heart that, you know, I'll get that award.
Yes, he deserved it. Congratulations to him. And to say that as Golden Hour, we're dealing with big people, guys, like young people that are doing exceptional things. So congratulations to Spiwo. Anyway, that is it for our show today on a Health Tuesday, guys. We hope that you loved everything that we had for you today, and we hope that you start the conversation on suicide prevention and be there for those people that you feel like are being overwhelmed in that particular moment. And also look out for pages WHO, World Health Organization, and the Ministry of Health as well, in collaboration with other partners, to say how can you make a change in your community and also in your family.
Starting the conversation starts with asking a person how they are.
Yes.
How are you feeling? Are you okay? How is your heart?
Yes.
You know, kuqala kanjalo ngoba kuze kuthi ngutshele story sami ngukhuthulele inkinga tami. I need to trust you in my heart and my spirit ukuthi ngakutshela story sami. So let's try and lean closer to our friends and families, because asati ukuthi what exactly are they going through? And of course, there's, you know, bansabati prescribe medication to try and cope, you know, with whatever, you know, hectic situations that they are going through in their lives. So let's check on each other, friends, families, anyone around you, and ask them if they are okay. So we had a beautiful show today on the Golden Hour. Neswethu, wow, uchazile ke Nes ukuthi hayi kumqoka kakhulu ukuthi sichubeke sifundisane, media or not, you know, let's educate each other. So yeah, that's it for the show today. Golden Hour. We hope that you guys had a beautiful day.
Yes, we'll see you guys tomorrow on a Family Wednesday. Have a beautiful night. Mwah.
Hello and welcome to Young Climber. We have returned once again to share another inspirational story right here in the Kingdom of Eswatini. And on today's episode, we are joined by social entrepreneur, mentor, facilitator, public relations practitioner, and most importantly, awarded woman leading in multiple sectors. It is, of course, Bertha Sithole joining us today to just unpack her journey, how she went from being young and naive all the way to being a leading woman. Bertha, welcome to Young Climber.
Thank you so much, Bella. Like, I'm excited to be here.
I'm very excited to have you. You know, I've heard you speak once, many years ago, but today I get to have an in-depth conversation with you and most importantly, inspire the youth of Eswatini and the world. But firstly, we like to backtrack because we just want to get a glimpse of what you are, where you're rooted from, and for you it's Eswatini.
Yes, that is home.
Growing up, how was that for you, and what are some of the values that you learned from there that you carry out even today?
Yeah, growing up as Eswatini was fun.
Yeah.
We were climbing trees, mountains, going up the mountains to get blueberries, berries, whatever. We had a dam. We still have a dam. I mean,
still there.
So we would swim there. We would do our laundry at the dam. It was quite an interesting childhood, you know, growing up without electricity, but we have like candles, and it was normal.
Yeah.
Just super normal, and that is what it was. We were watching like a small screen TV, black and white, and we were watching TV, Generations, and so forth. It was quite an inspiring childhood.
Yeah.
My mom is a Christian, so she made sure that we are grounded in Christianity. My dad is an entrepreneur, so I went under that wing.
Yeah.
So I've got a sibling, my sister, and we lived with my brother's daughter as well. And it was a very good, it was a good environment, wonderful neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. She has such a relatable, you know, background. That's how most of Eswatini grew up. But you transitioned into being into public relations and the media, you know, for the longest time. How did you realize that's the path that you wanted to pursue?
At first I didn't. There was this guy called Nhlanhla Mota.
Yeah.
He passed away, may his soul rest in peace. He was responsible for the arts in, I believe, in the country, but as Eswatini, he had an arts group. So he would like collect all of us and like make sure that we do the sketches. Yeah. But for me, he didn't make me act. He said, your job is to be a public relations officer. And I'm like, what is that? He's like, you know what? You are going to go to the Times of Swaziland. You are going to go to Ndombi Mhlongo and tell her, tomorrow, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And that is all I did. On Monday, remember back then, we didn't have like digital photos. So we'll take pictures over the weekend, have them printed, and says, here's the photo, take it to the Times.
Yeah.
So that was my role, and I was at St. Mark's High School at the time. So I was in town. So I would do that, and I was like less than 16. And that's how I got to understand PR. Every time there's an event or a Minister Hlopsile Ndlovu at the time would come to Enkundleni, Bertha MC, and I would be like, oh my God, I don't even know. I know I didn't have a reference because I have never seen anyone do it, but I just like had to like do it. And he really did believe in me, and he opened the door to dream and to be better for me.
Oh wow, that's such a beautiful story. But you know, you've held multiple roles, various roles. I'd just like to know, what are some of the key lessons that you learned? You know, being in different spaces, dealing with different people, it can't all be roses. But how was it for you?
Of course, it's not all roses,
Yeah.
but because I read a lot. I read a lot of inspirational books. I read a lot of self-help books. So they tell you everything is a lesson, and I do take everything as a lesson. Sometimes when it gets hard, I go home and I'm like, okay, what am I going to do next? The excitement of trying to solve that problem is the it for me.
Yeah.
When